August 5th, 2026, Step 4 of the continuation book, Book 2 of Steps. If I understand the world, I will understand myself. You have a fundamental relationship with the world because it is the world that you were sent to serve. You are not sent here to condemn the world, to avoid the world, or to ridicule the world, or to malign the world, or to grieve over the world. You were sent here to serve the world. To serve the world, you must understand it. You must understand its beauty, its conflict, and its fundamental predicaments. You must have this understanding without denial or avoidance. If you can understand the world this completely, you will know why you are here, and you will experience those who sent you and who are with you at this moment. Therefore, as you go through your day, you are building a greater understanding and a greater awareness. You're establishing yourself at a higher vantage point upon the mountain of life, even as you witness the mundane events of your daily affairs. What power this gives you! What freedom to see, to know, and to act according to the true direction that lives within you. Understand, then, the world. Understand where the world is going in its emerging into the greater community, the universe. See yourself as part of a bigger picture, not simply as an individual living within your little shell, preoccupied by your own fears, goals, and anxieties, but a person who was sent to give something to the world with other people. Create this larger context today as you think about today's lesson. Stop upon the hour and see where you are and what you are experiencing. And in your one long practice in stillness and silence, let yourself come into harmony with the world's greater nature. For knowledge lives within the world as it does within you. And you can experience this today if you are still. 1 30-minute stillness practice, contemplation practice, hourly practice. The presence, knowledge, spirit, source, it permeates everything. It's That's how we're connected. It's a great peacemaker in the universe. To understand what God's doing in our world, you have to understand what God's doing in the universe. And the new message explains it all. It doesn't go into minute details, but it gives you all the pieces of the puzzle so you see the bigger picture. And when worlds reach this stage of evolution where we're, venturing off into the universe and dealing with other races, a new message like this is given in that language to that world. There's many worlds in this stage of evolution. So this is to keep spirituality alive, to keep the human race intact so it's not snuffed out. Upon the hour, I have a dinger on my phone so I can check in, ground myself, bring in source down my chakras, ground myself out. How am I doing? I'm being paying attention? Am I being aware, alert, observant of myself and my day? We're here to serve each other. Why do some of us choose to be police officers or judges or lawyers or those that serve the world, that want the world a better place? And then somewhere along the way maybe they're compromised because we're not taking developing this greater power within us, this greater connection between ego and divine self. We can be compromised. We can lose our moral compass. Look at the world. It's easy to you can see it everywhere. The corruption's coming out to light. So many are compromised because they're not going within. And all the great teachers came here to teach this. You hear everybody say, go within, because that's where source is. That's where you connect. And the ego loves the inner experiences. It trusts the divine self. This is what it seeks in the world. It seeks that strength, that comfort, that confidence, that assurance that it's got a greater power guiding it, that it can rely on it and it can trust it, and it doesn't take you into self-destruction and harming others. That's one thing. Knowledge, you can't use it to harm another. It won't. No, it won't work. You have to learn to follow knowledge. You don't control it. The ego doesn't control it. But the ego has enough inner experiences as it does the steps that it learns that, hey, this thing knows exactly where I need to go, what I need to do, and how to protect me and how to navigate me. And, you know, I don't have to figure it out anymore. I don't have to assume and guesstimate. And so, if we can understand what's happening in the world at this time, there's so many revelations being centered in a crashing world. It talks about, it gives a fix for, you know, the connection within, the problems on Earth. It shows you the problems in the universe, which is just like Earth on a grander scale. I find it fascinating, the new message. And then you look at the globalist playbook and the Masons and the Eastern Star Dark cult playbook, which I recently learned about, and then the alien agenda. So it's all there in God's new message, and it's all, the fix is given, So, and this is universal. It's applicable to all worlds, all races, all religions, even if you don't have a religion. No, source is within your intuition, your discernment, your gut instincts. This is all divine aspects of yourself. Now, you take, say, like a judge who, over the years, his discernment is refined, his intuition, his gut instinct. If he's listening to those, he's a good judge. And they refine this, but they don't know it's their divine side. They don't understand that these qualities are part of the power of presence and grace of love of God that lives within us and that gets displayed to the world. you know and how do you keep your heart beautiful and trustworthy? How do you stand in your integrity and your authenticity? By developing a relationship between your ego and your divine self, learning how to navigate the world through a greater vantage point, through heaven's perspective on things. It makes a big difference because you can understand the world when you can understand what God's doing in the universe. So I encourage people to go investigate the new message and pay attention to their inner experiences. Steps to Knowledge is free online, and you got to do 2 years of steps before you do the continuation. But you find the second year, the intellect, the ego, it's thinking like knowledge now. It'll pretend to be knowledge too. You got to watch that. You can't just run with what it says. You got to be very, very discerning. Yeah, you learn how through the steps and through inner observation. Observe your thoughts, observe your feelings, observe your emotions. And from heaven's perspective, it's easy to correct. Knowledge within you is like, it's like autocorrect, it's self-correcting. And that's what saved me, because yes, did I go through, you know, what I went through, the negative aspects of the ego came up, but I had heaven's perspective to pull it back to look at heaven's perspective. I don't have to live in those emotions anymore because I've got a greater vantage point. So I encourage people to, go read the Steps to Knowledge. Yeah, no, spirit within you will recognize it immediately. Ego pays attention; it loves them. So you just have to go see for yourself, have your own experience. It's an individual journey. You see, it's not like I have to be like that person or I have to follow that person. No, what you need to follow is nothing in the world. You need to follow source within yourself, and that will navigate the world for you. So have a good day.